Alrighty, everyone, welcome to another Glass Wall session for the fall 2023 semester. And for our second performer of the year, we have Ashley Newsome here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
So we all kind of like got together through Uncouth Hour, which is our weekly open mic night that we hold every Thursday from 9:30 to 10:30. And Ashley was one of our performers for one of the nights, and kind of as like a little talent scout, we wanted to have them come into the studio and record. So
Yeah, this is so funny that this is even happening because honestly, I wasn't even gonna go. I was so exhausted. Thursdays are my most busiest day. Like, I'm a music major, and it's just I take 9 classes. It's not fun. I didn't think I was coming. I was so tired, but I did it anyway. I bit the bullet, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I really want to do this, and at least if I do it just once, I'll be happy. So.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, you're a freshman too, so like, hey, you have as another 3 years to come in and do as many as you want once a year. So
That'd be great. Yeah.
But yeah, so why don't we just jump into your first song and then we'll
Sure.
learn a little bit more after.
So I'm gonna start with an oldie but a goodie. I know when I first wrote this song, a lot of people liked it. It's called Old Oak Tree. I had come up with the song literally just looking at a picture of an oak tree I had taken on a street just in my hometown. I'm from Naples. It's just a random tree, but it made me want to write a song because I had like this picking pattern and I didn't have any lyrics for it. But here we are.
Alright.
Walk down the path that lead to the old oak tree. Hearts so close, hand in hand, they watch the falling leaves. And I've never seen such harmony in two separate minds. They seem to bring me clarity as I drive past those signs. Meet me under the old oak tree, I'll show you how happy we can be, and let your worries melt away. Feel the cool breeze against your cheek. Kiss me until I feel weak, and help me make my dreams come true. Baby, I love you. Share a walk down memory lane where dreams and love grow. My heart skips beats when you get close, I guess you already know. And I've never felt such harmony in my twisted mind and heart. You seem to bring me clarity, I don't ever want to be apart. Oh. Meet me under the old oak tree, I'll show you how happy we could be, and let your worries melt away. Feel the cool breeze against your cheek. Kiss me until I feel weak, and help me make my dreams come true. Baby, I love you. I can't stay away, I can't let go. Won't you stay? Please don't go. 'Cause I've never felt such harmony in my twisted mind and heart. You seem to bring me clarity, I don't ever want to be apart. So meet me under the old oak tree, I'll show you how happy we could be, and let your worries melt away. Feel the cool breeze against your cheek. Kiss me until I feel weak, and help me make my dreams come true. Baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. Simple, but I mean, I wrote it when I was 14. What do you want?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with simple.
I guess. I mean, I love simplistic stuff. Like, well, I mean, I don't want to call them simplistic because they're really not, and people always want to call them. My favorite band's the Beatles, right? I'm such a Beatle geek. I could tell you anything about them, but a lot of the times their chord structure, especially like John Lennon wasn't necessarily the most advanced guitar player, but the things that he wrote, even though they were simplistic chord structures, I mean, we all still love them. So there's beauty in simplicity, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, of course. And was it? I don't misquote me. I'm not the biggest Beatles fan. Was it Lennon who said that he had a chord that came to mind when he was like he had a dream, and then And then he was
Are
like,
you talking about Yesterday?
was it Yesterday?
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
McCartney.
Okay.
So yeah, this melody came to him in a dream, and he asks all the band members and George Martin, their producer, like, do you guys know this song? What is the song? And after nobody being able to recognize it, he was like, oh, it must be mine. So he just wrote a song for it, and yeah, it was Yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say my Beatles knowledge is very limited, but I'm glad we have the expert here.
I'm surprised that you know that though. That's pretty good. Yeah, I could talk Beatles all day long. They're like what got me into songwriting, honestly.
So like with the Beatles being like one of your core ones, what else was kind of
ones? Oh, I mean, like the core moment for me was watching like interviews of Paul McCartney. I think that's like literally what I went in my room and started writing songs. Terrible songs, but songs nonetheless. And it was just, I don't know, the Beatles, I started like really diving into them when I was 12 years old, but they had always been in my life. I don't really remember this, but my mom, I had a little Yellow Submarine bath toy when I was a baby. And so she bought the Yellow Submarine CD, and she would play those songs for me. And apparently, like, I kind of just, like, ignored that part of, like, my music life, if you will. I kind of dove into the more modern songs. I listened to a stereo as a kid. I had this little stereo in my room and stuff. But then I got a record player, and my grandfather gave me the Abbey Road album as my first vinyl. And it just started this nonstop rabbit hole. Oh, yeah. It never ends, I swear, because their discography, is so big, and it's just so fun to like revisit every time. And anytime I'm in a stressed out mood or in a bad mood, I listen to the Beatles, and then like everything's gonna be okay. I'm fine. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge vinyl collector too, so it's just always, I always love that, like, you always find something new when you go through it, and just my favorite artist is Queen, so like that's my my Beatles.
But that's so cool.
Yeah.
Queen is so neat. I love oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Darn it, what's the song called? I'm never gonna forget it. I can't. Oh my gosh, the one. Dining at the Ritz, we'll meet at 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pay the bill, you taste the wine. Good old fashioned lover boy.
Yeah. I was like, I should know.
I can't, because I'm like, I love Good Omens, so inherently like all the Queen soundtrack from that like kind of exposed me to it. I mean, I liked Queen before that, but they definitely made me dive back into them, and I discovered a few songs that I hadn't really listened to before.
Yeah. So was it the Beatles that really made you want to learn the acoustic guitar?
So my instrument learning kind of story is, I guess I started with like recorder and ukulele around 8 years old, like everyone does. And ukulele kind of, I tell everybody who wants to learn guitar, learn ukulele first, because it's nylon strings and you're not going to bleed, and the chords are really simple. Like it helps, it really does. And you develop a callus, and then you can graduate to guitar. But I started with ukulele, then I started with violin when I was 12, and then I picked up guitar around like 13 or 14.
Okay.
So yeah. But I don't think the Beatles necessarily sparked me to learn guitar. They just sparked me to start writing.
Okay.
Because I was learning, and actually one of the first songs I had learned was a Beatles song, Mother Nature's Son, like full song that I had learned. I was learning chords, but that Mother Nature's Son holds such a special place in my heart, because that was like the first thing that kind of introduced me to all these different chords. I'm like, seventh chords, diminished. Wow, that's so interesting. Like it was such a wholesome experience when I look back on it, and I didn't know what, like, if I looked at myself now being 12 years old, I don't think I'd really believe it. And not to say it like, oh my God, I'm so cool. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's more just like, you do that? I always dreamt of doing that. You're actually doing stuff like that? That's cool. You're writing songs? No way. But yeah, I mean, it's just always been something that I've wanted to do, and it's so great that I've been songwriting for about, 6 years now. It's just, I have probably over 100 songs, but my batting average is terrible. Yeah, it's not, like, I only have a few select songs that I'm proud of probably at the moment, but maybe if I revisited a few, maybe I could tweak them.
Hey, I was like, if you can look back on all your stuff from even a year ago, 6 months ago, and you can say that I could have done better. I was like, you're getting, you're always improving.
Fair enough.
So
That's actually so true. I never thought of it that way. Normally, I'm just like, ugh, no, turn the page, because I write everything down.
Okay.
I just like that. Manually writing things just makes me happy inside. I don't know why. And I'm such like a pencil connoisseur now. I love like specific mechanical pencils and like specific journals. I have this little leather bound journal that I write all my poetry and songs in, and just the aesthetic.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's so funny. I have like, oh gosh, about like 5 journals completed now. And it's so funny like looking back and be like, oh, I wrote this when I was in this like set of mind, not necessarily mental state. I'm not like not that kind of connotation, but just, oh, I remember this memory being correlated with this poem or this song. It's just really fun to revisit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's like a diary in a way. It's very therapeutic.
Oh, I'm sure every artist can attest to that.
Yeah. It's just fun. I don't know what else to say. It's fun, you guys.
Music is fun. That's
Yeah.
why we all do fun things with sound. We press button, we pluck string, it make noise.
It sparked joy.
Yeah.
That's it. Honestly, I mean, it can be boiled down to that for sure. And all these like musical connoisseurs like that are, oh, the simplicity is just, it's not like what I crave or whatever, or not necessarily that, but just I'm kind of grasping at straws. But I just feel like those people that don't want to experience all forms of music and want to confine to like, oh, I'm only going to listen to the most advanced sounding thing, or like something that seems like it would sound good rather than what actually sounds good. It's just a very limited mindset to me, and I'd rather enjoy everything and enjoy every part of life and every genre of music, but I don't know. That's just me.
Well, let's hear another one of your songs.
Sure. What am I playing? What am I playing? Let's see. Let's take a look at my list. Well, I guess I'll play this song called Lullaby. I actually wrote it my sophomore year of high school because there was this guy that I was quote unquote dating, and he cheated on me at the end of the day. But that's not what the song's about. It was actually more about the struggle between my family not approving of him and me wanting to like go to him at the time. And I snuck out of the house, so this was also the inspiration for that. But like, it's just, yeah, this is where that song came from. It's called Lullaby. That's one of the ones that I actually need to work on because I don't like the second verse I wrote. But,
So, I would say kind of what was how about let's talk about Stetson actually, since that's what we're all how we all came together.
I go to Stetson University.
Did you know that we all go to Stetson? No. So what kind of compelled you to come to Stetson, and what's actually kind of like?
Actually, it's kind of funny. I wasn't really this wasn't my number one or anything really, but not in a way where I was like, oh, Stetson. It wasn't a backup plan or anything. It was just I knew it existed and I wanted to apply. And I knew I had a good music school, so yeah. But what really drew me here was just how kind everyone was, and I'm from Naples, like. Everyone's so mean. No, like, I don't want to say it like that because there are some gems and there are some diamonds in the rough. But, like, I feel like as COVID's hit and as inflation gets stronger and stronger, it's like you're getting priced out of paradise. And also just everything is so commercial and touristy. So it's not really like sustainable for residents really anymore to have this town be, I don't know, just more. I just want people to be kinder to one another there, especially to the residents, because it feels like we're always like putting kindness for the tourists because they're giving us money or whatever. And I mean, the residents have been there for however long, 10, 20 years or more, and it's just show them a little grace. I don't know. I'm speaking to the fact that I lived there for 18 years, and my parents moved down there in 2001 from a teeny tiny town called Ashtabula, Ohio. My namesake, actually. Ashley, Ashtabula. Guys, isn't that crazy? No. But yeah, it's just it's not to say that Naples isn't pretty and really cool and there's so much to do there, but I really prefer it here, and just how warm Stetson's community can be, and it just, I feel like I found my people.
Well, I mean, that's suppose that's the goal of everyone who comes to college. I mean, always finding your your people, your zone, and things like that.
And I mean, not to talk like existentially, but I feel like this is like a big motivator, I feel like, for my songwriting too, is like everything is in preparation for my soulmate, if you will. Like, I don't know if you believe in that, but like I'm talking kind of with a little bit of naivety, but also just, I don't know, I believe that there's like a special person for everyone. And every like song I've written like about a person has been when I'm single, which is interesting because it's more about like the figure of like the one, you know what I mean? It's written in that perspective of like, I will sing this to the person that I want to be with, or I'm doing all this stuff in college so that I can have a sustainable income, and then I can have the person that I'm with and we can focus on a relationship rather than like financial insecurity and all that kind of stuff. I feel like everything I do ends up being for this almost figure, which it doesn't sound healthy, but it's the truth. Shh. Don't tell my brain. But I don't know. It's just, I definitely want to find that special person, and I feel like all my writing, all that kind of stuff, everything that I've done so far in my life has been in like almost preparation for the person, and it's like who I've become, and like me trying to better myself is ultimately for that goal that I have. But separate goal, I guess, from, you know, wanting to pursue music or whatever, things like that.
Yeah, so what kind of made you decide to really commit to music full time and not
well, it's kind of always just been what I've wanted. It's so funny because my parents they don't make fun of me. If they're watching this, I don't take this with a grain of salt. They make fun of me from the standpoint like, oh, Ashley, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, and they're supportive. Don't get me wrong, they are very, very supportive of the choices that I've made, and they're proud of me, and this, that, and the other. And yes, you're proud. I hear you. I get it. But at the same time, they're like, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, but you're gonna choose music, the career that has no job turnover. Like, the only job turnover is, oh, you die, and so somebody else gets that job. But I mean, it's just my life. I've always loved music. At 3 years old, I was going, I want to be a pop star when I'm older. Like, it's so silly, but it's the truth. It's just always been there.
Well, on that note, then, why don't we hear another one of your songs then?
Sure. I'm blanking on the name of the song right now. Hang on, hold on, 2 seconds. I write them, but like, I can't keep them in my head. I don't actually have a title for this one. That's why I couldn't remember. But I wrote it kind of just to perform it at the time when I was in high school, my junior year. But yeah, maybe you can come up with a title for me.
So much pressure.
After meeting your soul and shaking hands,
Alrighty.
Do you have a title?
Do I have a title? Oof.
Just kidding.
I was like, too much pressure.
I don't really remember. I feel like I had a title. My mom is going to be like, you didn't say the title of one of my favorite songs. I know it. I'm sorry, Mom. Please don't get mad. I swear, I can never remember the titles of my songs unless it's like a song that I've like grown to love and get super, super attached to. I don't know why, or unless I say the title a lot in that song.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah. Oh look, I have a Beatles pick.
Oh, there you go.
I forgot to show that when I said I was a Beatle nerd. It's down to what I use to play with them. I have like 12 of them. I'm not even kidding. There's like one for every album. And I just got, okay, you know, like the antique mall, like this 3-story place in downtown DeLand.
Think?
Yeah, it's full of like a bunch of like authentic vintage stuff, whatever. But I saw these 4 Beatles glasses, like, and I literally was with my friend Sophia, and I was like, Sophia, oh no, I'm gonna have to spend money or I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Look at these, because they're so cool. They have like there's this one that has just Paul McCartney from like the Let It Be album, like his picture, and it has like a signature on it. Like his signature.
Oh, okay.
It's so neat. It's so cool. And they make me so happy inside. And they're like actual Apple product. They give joy.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. There's so much quirky and like unique stuff in downtown DeLand. I think that's part of what makes our Stetson
I should have said that. That's the other thing is like it just felt like I belonged here because there was all these like record shops and all these different like things that you had to like almost discover. Mm-hmm. And that's something I love. And Naples is so commercial. It's like you go to one place to get the same thing every time. There isn't like there isn't a shoe repair shop or anything. Like there's like that's so random and so like small town kind of feel. My parents grew up in a small town and I grew up in Naples, and it felt like DeLand was almost like this perfect meshing of both of our worlds. And so like all of us kind of agreed like, yes, Stetson, DeLand. Home.
Yeah, no, I grew up in a small town about an hour from DeLand, Leesburg. So it was kind of funny because I went to college in Leesburg and then I came to DeLand and it was very similar.
Oh, really?
So I've been to big cities before. I love big cities too, but like small towns always has that fun atmosphere, especially for college, and it's so unique whenever I see people who are out of state and they come in and they're just like this is so cool. It's like you have a beach and like not that like maybe not even an hour away, and I'm like yeah, and so it's just DeLand's a lot of fun, and so I'm sure it fosters a lot of great music students too with our school here.
For sure. I am in awe of the people that I'm around, and it's also like this kind of, I know they talked about like imposter syndrome and all that kind of stuff. It goes almost beyond that for me, where it's like surreal. I'm like, I'm here right now and I don't even know how. Like it just feels so surreal because I'll walk just through like the 3rd floor of Presser Hall and hear everyone practicing, and it's just such a refreshing thing to see that something like that is such a normalcy amongst people. And it's just so neat to be like, oh my god, we're all musicians and we all care about what we're doing. That's crazy. But yeah, it's such a breath of fresh air for me because I mean, I get it. What do you want from an orchestra like high school? My high school's orchestra was just like full of a lot of people that had lost the care for what they were doing, and it showed in the way we sounded. Yeah.
So, how many more songs do we have coming for you?
I can do a couple more. I would love to do a cover. There's this one, I'll do the cover first, and then I'll do one more song after that. This song is actually a 1930s, like, big band song, but I've adapted it to guitar. It's called St. James Infirmary. It's by Cab Calloway. Cab Calloway is so cool, and I could talk about him forever, but I'm going to make sure that I shut up. But I'll keep it brief, I promise. But Cab Calloway is a big band leader that I feel like people don't talk about enough. He was very influential in writing lyrics about like things that were going on for people of color, and he actually like spoke about impoverished conditions or failure of marriage or drug abuse, whatever, those kind of things. And it was such a kind of refreshing thing for people to like identify with and be like, yes, finally somebody speaking up for those kind of things. He also influenced like scat and all that kind of stuff in the jazz era. But this song is called St. James Infirmary, and I've always loved it. It's actually in a Betty Boop cartoon, if you've ever watched those. But yeah. It's so fun. I love playing that song. It makes me so happy.
I was like, you had me tapping my foot there. I was like,
it's so fun. Yeah, like that. It's so much fun. And I wanted to do like little, but I'm never good at it. I'm never good at it on the spot. But yeah. I can do the final song if you don't have any other questions for me. You don't want to interrogate me?
I mean, I can interrogate you all day, but I'll give you the honor of closing us out.
Okay, cool.
With one more
Thank
song.
You.
Then.
Yeah, I want to go. Why are you keeping me here?
It is 8:00.
There's just somebody like holding me like off camera, like. But yeah, yeah. But all right. This last song is called Cherry Blossoms, and I just it's so warm and cozy, and it makes me happy inside. So I hope you enjoy. Wherever you go, I promise I'll be by your side. I'm just under your nose, smiling up at the sky. So rest your head down, side by side or on my chest, it's fine. Seeing cherry blossoms in your eyes, let your guard down. And in your smiling slumber I whisper, how do you say I love you when the stars are fading away? How do you say I love you when the full moon comes to life? How do you say I love you when you're lost in a crimson heart? How do you say I love you when the one you love is just out of touch tonight? Carefully now, I press my lips to your frame, a perfect silhouette made of love that comes to stay. So rest your head down, side by side on my chest, it's fine. Seeing cherry blossoms in your eyes, let your guard down. And in your smiling slumber I whisper, how do you say I love you when the stars are fading away? How do you say I love you when the full moon comes to life? How do you say I love you when you're lost in a crimson heart? How every time that my heart beats. So how do you say I love you when the stars are fading away? How do you say I love you when the full moon comes to life? Oh, how do you say I love you when you're lost in a crimson heart? How do you say I love you when the one you love is just out of touch tonight?
That was incredible. So I can't think of a better way to end us off here.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
No, of course. And so where can people find you online, any of your music? And
Nowhere. I'm a ghost. Nowhere.
Perfect.
You will not get it until I've gotten myself squared away with production and stuff. Nobody's getting it. I'm gatekeeping it.
Yeah. Well, here will be just a little bit of a taste of what you can get from Ashley.
This is like me actually getting exposed for probably the first time. I mean, I've performed for different events and stuff, but this is definitely more professional. But yeah, it was great fun to be on your show.
Well, we appreciate it. We'd love to have you back, and
I
whenever.
will, and maybe by then I'll have a Spotify.
There you go. I say.
Who knows? But yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us for the second Glass Wall session of this semester. So you can find What Radio on Instagram at what.radio, and you can also find our Overhead media group, Hatter Network, on Instagram as well. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.